First time I ever played fighting games, I must say, just like randomly ever played, probably 7 years old, just hyper fighting. But first time ever like getting into the scene, probably when I was 12 years old at Chinatown Fair. I got into Chinatown Fair from my middle school friends. We used to just, after school, just take the bus, go to Chinatown Fair and just play some Marvel vs. Capcom 1. And from there, I just met like Eddie Lee, Arturo Sanchez, Henry Sen, and all those old school people from East Coast. And they just got me into the game, and I just wanted to just keep playing and playing more people because it was just such an amazing feeling. My favorite Capcom fighting game of all time is definitely Marvel vs. Capcom 2. The reason why Marvel vs. Capcom 2 was my favorite fighting game is because it's what got me into like the whole world of famous scene or whatever. But in reality, it was just super fun and probably the only game I can ever grind out over and over again. I think the charm about Marvel vs. Capcom 2 was that I'm a really big fan of like Storm and just X-Men in general. So my main team was Storm, Sentinel, Cyclops. And just because of that, the competition in Chinatown was so fierce for Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and it made me just want to just keep playing and just play for Team New York at the time. I think my greatest achievement of all time in fighting game was winning the GameStop tournament for Street Fighter 4. That tournament was, the GameStop tournament for Street Fighter 4 was really crazy just because there was over 100,000 people that entered all the qualifiers because it was a nationwide thing. And the fact that Capcom and GameStop teamed up and they flown me out to play in the nationals, and it was like all this big giant scene and all this people, and they even had like, I think, breakdancers performing live. It was just an amazing event. I'd never been to an event like that before because most of the time it's just like the standard FGC community tournaments, but having like a grand scheme of tournament that made it just amazing in terms of production value and just the support from a company, it just made me like, damn, I wish I compete in more of these tournaments. The GameStop tournament was, first 3 rounds was all pad tournaments only, just because it was on, you had to play on the GameStop kiosk cabinets. So what I did was I prepared myself where I played on the Xbox pad against my friends, but they played on joystick. So I brutally got beat down plenty of times until I was able to play just decent at least. Because as long as I can get to the grand finals and it switches to joystick, I feel like I had a really good chance of winning. And if all the tournament players had to learn the pad just as much time as I had the time to learn the pad, I think I would just still come up on top because I think I'm a faster learner than most people. My greatest loss. I think my greatest loss was also my best loss because it's obviously going to be the Daigo parry moment. That was definitely my greatest loss because I was like, wow, I can't believe Daigo parried it. But it also was my greatest loss just because it revolutionized fighting games in general. Because when that happened, everyone started playing fighting games more seriously again, especially Third Strike. Because Third Strike was definitely a dying game in America at the time until that happened. And because of that, I think everyone just wanted to just play more fighting games. And I always tell people that I'm the Ken player.